blocks where thousands are gathered tonight for the Christmas tree lighting at Rockefeller Plaza. Police promising there will be high security. Stephanie Goss joins us now from the crime scene. Stephanie, what more do we know tonight?
Well, Lester, Brian Thompson was walking down this city block at roughly 6:30 this morning. He was expected to speak an hour and a half later at United Healthcare's conference here at the Hilton Hotel. He never made it. Tonight in New York City, a manhunt is underway and a shooter is on the loose.
It was a brazen attack on the busy streets of Midtown Manhattan, just as the workday was beginning. The NYPD says the gunman was laying in wait for United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
Every indication is that this was a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack.
NBC News obtained this video from a law enforcement official briefed on the investigation. According to police, Thompson was shot in the back and in the leg.
At the scene, we recover 3 live 9mm rounds and 3 discharged 9mm shell casings. The motive for this murder currently is unknown.
Emergency responders couldn't save the 50-year-old father of 2, who was later pronounced dead at the hospital. The Minnesota native was in town for a United Healthcare conference being held at the Hilton Hotel. Police say at 6:44 a.m., Thompson was walking to the Hilton from a different hotel where he was staying. The shooter, wearing a black ski mask and hoodie, was already there, according to the NYPD, arriving minutes before. He stepped out from behind a car and started shooting, walking and firing multiple times. At one point, the gun appeared to jam.
It does seem that he's proficient in the use of firearms, as he was able to clear the malfunctions pretty quickly.
The NYPD says at 6:48, officers arrived at the scene, but the gunman had already fled. An eyewitness watched it happen.
I saw him after he shot him. He ran across the street. I tried to take a picture, but he's too far away. He's not that clear.
According to the NYPD, the shooter took off through an alley, grabbing an e-bike and riding it into Central Park, which at that time was filled with morning runners and walkers. That's when the timeline police are publicly sharing ends.
The full investigative efforts of the New York City Police Department are well underway, and we will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case.
A law enforcement source briefed on the investigation tells NBC News these photos were taken before the shooting.
We're seeking information from the public to help identify the shooter. As the commissioner said, we have upped the reward up to $10,000 for information.
In Minnesota, Thompson's wife and family in shock.
Brian was a wonderful person with a big heart and who lived life to the fullest. He will be greatly missed by everybody. Our hearts are broken and we are completely devastated by this news.
In a separate phone conversation with NBC News, his wife expressed some concern. There had been some threats, basically, I don't know, a lack of coverage, she said, adding, I don't know the details. I just know that he said there were some people that had been threatening him. Despite the threats, she says her husband did not change his travel habits. Today, the head of pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly spoke out about the shooting.
I mean, it's shocking. Yeah. He was assassinated, essentially, in the street going to his investor conference.
United Healthcare is the largest private health insurer in the country, part of United Health Group. In a statement, a spokesperson writes in part, "We are deeply saddened and shocked at the passing of our dear friend and colleague." The company says it is working closely with the NYPD. The scheduled conference has been canceled. Tonight, just blocks away from where the shooting took place, the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree will be lit in the annual celebration, an event that is always tightly secured by the NYPD. Officials assuring the public there will be a massive presence there tonight.
This is a terrible event, but we're going to go on, and people are going to enjoy the tree lighting tonight. And Stephanie, in the video, we can see Brian Thompson walking along before the attack occurs, and there doesn't appear to be security personnel with him. What do we know about that?
Well, Lester, a recent stockholder report from United Health Group doesn't suggest that they provide that security for their executives. Other insurance companies, Cigna and Humana, in their reports to stockholders, suggest that they do, Lester.
All right, Stephanie Goss, thank you. We'll take a turn now to the confirmation challenges for President-elect Trump's choice for defense secretary. Pete Hegseth speaking out, as we've also learned Trump may be eyeing a former primary rival to replace him. Here's Garrett Haig.
Tonight, President-elect Trump's selection for Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, facing what may be a make-or-break moment for his nomination amid wavering GOP support. Hegseth defiant, saying Trump told him today,
"Hey, Pete, I got your back. It's a fight. They're coming after you. Get after it."
The former Fox News host and decorated combat veteran speaking to Megyn Kelly, pushing back on damaging stories about his background.
What has been said about me, it was so ridiculous and all anonymous that we didn't want to give it oxygen. What you're seeing right now with me is the art of the smear.
NBC News has reported 10 current and former Fox News employees say he drank in ways that concerned them.
First of all, I've never had a drinking problem, but what do guys do when they come back from war oftentimes? Have some beers.
Hegseth adding if confirmed, he would stop drinking entirely.
So this is the biggest deployment of my life, and there won't be a drop of alcohol on my lips while I'm doing it.
And addressing why he paid a settlement to a woman who accused him of sexual assault in 2017, an allegation he denies. Police investigated, and Hegseth was not charged.
I did it to protect my wife, I did it to protect my family, and I did it to protect my job.
But multiple Republicans have told NBC News at least 6 GOP senators are not comfortable supporting Hegseth. He can only afford 3 Republican no votes. Meeting with Iowa's Joni Ernst today. Did he ask for your vote specifically? And the president-elect may already be preparing a backup plan. 2 sources tell NBC News Trump is considering other options for the Pentagon if Hegseth falters, including Florida Governor and Navy veteran Ron DeSantis. Trump talked to the governor and wants him to do it, a source familiar with the conversation told NBC News. Trump and DeSantis once primary rivals.
I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star.
And it's time for Ron DeSantis to hang it up.
But DeSantis ultimately endorsing Trump.
He's been prosecuted and he nearly lost his life. We cannot let him down, and we cannot let America down.
Some top Trump allies now in a holding pattern.
My perception is they'll support whoever he wants. It's not 100% clear to me who he wants as Secretary of Defense right now.
And Garrett, despite the challenges for Hegseth, President-elect Trump is moving quickly to fill a lot of his administration posts.
That's right, Lester. He's named at least 13 picks so far today, including Peter Navarro to be an advisor on trade. Navarro served 4 months in prison for defying a subpoena from the January 6th committee. Today, Trump touting his support for tariffs. Lester?
Garrett Haig, thank you. There is breaking news from Northern California where there was a shooting at an elementary school today. Sheriff's deputies say 2 students were injured and the gunman is dead. Liz Kreutz is following this. Liz, what are police telling you?
Well, Lester, the sheriff says around 1 p.m., law enforcement responded to reports of an active shooting at a small private elementary school near Oroville, California, about an hour north of Sacramento. They say 2 students have been shot and injured. Both have been taken to local hospitals. One of them was airlifted. Their conditions right now are unknown. The sheriff says that when they arrived, an adult male, the suspected gunman, appeared to have a self-inflicted gunshot wound and that he has now died. Authorities do not believe that he has a connection to the school. Investigators are still looking into the motive. The school is on lockdown right now, and police say they are working with the FBI and other agencies as they continue the investigation tonight. Lester?
Okay, Liz, thanks for that update. Millions of people are under winter alerts again in the north.